सभी विराजे, सभी से विराजे, सभी विराजे।
यहाँ और कुछ भी नहीं है, सारी पार्टियां के यहाँ कोई लेना देना नहीं, ओनली फॉर भाटी। ठीक है,
वोट में तो रविंद्र भाटी साहब ने देगा।
रविंद्र भाटी?
हाँ।
किस लिए?
आज के समय में रविंद्र चुनाव नहीं लड़ रहा, चुनाव बाड़मेर जैसलमेर बालोतरा की जनता चुनाव लड़ रही है।
We are in Goda village, about 50 kilometers from Barmer in Rajasthan. The temperature is 45 degrees, but surely feels like a 55. The stage is set and people are braving the heat to get a glimpse of this young 26-year-old who is expected here. He is setting the scorching Thar desert on fire. Ravinder Singh Bhati, an independent candidate, is the new craze in Rajasthan. He's running a disorganized campaign which sometimes runs hours late, but people are waiting for him. As he gets off from the car, he doesn't even walk to the stage that is set. This 6-footer, who says he weighs a quintal, is carried on the shoulders. People want to just hold him and see if he's for real. They say they don't want to vote for any party, but for Ravinder Singh Bhati. This is Economic Times Special Elections podcast, Polls on My Pod. In this episode, we will take you to 2 states, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. BJP had swept these 2 states in 2019, and in the newsroom, we call these states saturation states. It is Thursday, the 18th of April. I'm your host Nidhi Sharma, and you're listening to the Morning Brief. In 2019, BJP had swept Rajasthan, winning all 25 parliamentary seats, including one in Nagaur, where it was in alliance with a regional party. This was quite an achievement since it had lost the assembly elections just a few months before in 2018, and there was a Congress government in the state. But first, let's talk about what we promised you in the last episode. So, what are political parties worried about in Rajasthan? It is the low voter turnout, not because of the heat, but because the voting days in Rajasthan, April 19 and April 26, coincide with the auspicious wedding dates. So in every political speech, you hear candidates telling the voters to first vote and then join the celebrations. So this time, the poll pitch looks slightly different in Rajasthan. As I travelled through the Jat-dominated Shekhawati region in the north and central Rajasthan, the voters were talking about unfulfilled promises to farmers and the newly introduced Agniveer scheme. This Shekhawati belt sends the most number of soldiers to the armed forces, and the anger is palpable. Jats have not traditionally voted for BJP, and that is why the party was routed here in the assembly elections 6 months back. One of the most talked about seats here is Churu, the place which is in national news as it quickly breaks temperature records during summers. Churu has been BJP's stronghold since the 1990s. But guess what? This time, the BJP MP Rahul Kaswa was dropped by the party. Now, he has been given a ticket by the Congress. But it is not the BJP's candidate who is in news here. It has become a personal fight between Kaswa and senior BJP leader Rajendra Rathore, whom many say had insisted Kaswa be dropped. Congress here is sniffing an opportunity, and the Satta Bazaar is actually going up and down. From Churu, we move to the hottest seat. It is India's second largest parliamentary constituency by area. Yes, Barmer, which is witnessing this spectacular contest. It is a VIP seat represented by Union Minister Kailash Chaudhary. But in news is this independent candidate Ravinder Singh Bhati. It is an interesting story recounted here almost like a folklore. In 2019, Bhati was a student of Jodhpur University. He was associated with ABVP, BJP's student wing, but wasn't the official candidate in the Students' Union elections. He famously took on a candidate supported by then Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and defeated him. He was the first independent candidate to win the elections ever in the university. In 2023, he was again denied a ticket by BJP, but decided to contest as an independent from the remote Shiv seat. And he won. But he didn't stop there. He has decided now to contest the parliamentary election. Ask him why, and he says the people wanted him to. ET caught up with him as he was campaigning through Barmer, conducting public meetings and roadshows.
हाँ, पार्टी कैडर का एक फर्क जरूर रहता है, मदद जरूर मिलती है, पर आज के समय में रविंद्र चुनाव नहीं लड़ रहा। चुनाव बाड़मेर जैसलमेर और बालोतरा की जनता चुनाव लड़ रही है।
तो आप क्या अलग क्या बोल रहे हैं और आपको क्या लगता है कि यहाँ की जनता के लिए क्या जरूरी है?
इन लोगों को मूलभूत सुविधाएं चाहिए, इनका हक और अधिकार चाहिए, इनको वो भाई चाहिए जिसके पास हम सीधे पहुंच सकें, जिसके बीच में कोई मीडिएटर नहीं हो। सेकंड, वो भाई चाहिए जो देश की सबसे बड़ी पंचायत में मजबूती से इन लोगों की आवाज़ को वहाँ उठा सके, बिना डरे, बिना झुके। साथ ही साथ में इनको पानी चाहिए, इनको शिक्षा चाहिए, इनको चिकित्सा चाहिए, रोजगार चाहिए। ये तमाम चीज़ें केंद्र से और राज्य से लाने की जिम्मेदारी इनका भाई लेता है और निश्चित तौर पे लेके आओ।
तो कास्ट हमेशा राजस्थान में, मैं भी राजस्थान से हूँ, लेकिन कास्ट हमेशा ऊपर रहती है, मतलब कोई डेवलपमेंट की बात नहीं करता। आप क्या वादा कर रहे हैं लोगों से?
मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि इतिहास में पहली बार होगा जब बाड़मेर, जैसलमेर और बालोतरा की जनता कास्ट बैरियर तोड़ के 36 कौम के लोग इस क्षेत्र के लिए, इस क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए वोट देंगे और निश्चित तौर पे एक नया इतिहास लिखा जाएगा।
अभी भाजपा और कांग्रेस के जो कैंडिडेट हैं दोनों जाट हैं, आप राजपूत हैं, आपकी कास्ट यहाँ पे नंबर के हिसाब से थोड़ी कम है, उसके हिसाब से आपको नहीं लगता कि कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा? नहीं,
मेरे साथ 36 कौम का साथ है, सहयोग है और निश्चित तौर पे हम ये चुनाव निकालेंगे।
अभी आपका क्या विजन है, क्या हो सकता है बाड़मेर, जोधपुर?
बाड़मेर, जोधपुर में अगर बात करूँ वेस्टर्न राजस्थान की, मैं अगर मारवाड़ तो यहाँ पे सब चीज़ें संभव है, हर चीज़ आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे CSR फंड इस लेवल का और इतना है कि यहाँ पे एजुकेशन और हेल्थ को तो आपको गवर्नमेंट का सपोर्ट लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, आप आराम से बहुत इजी तरीके से कर सकते हैं। पर करे कौन? आपको पता है यहाँ पे CSR फंड के नाम पे ट्री गार्ड लगते हैं, कहते हैं साहब हम ग्रीन इंडिया बना रहे हैं, हम ग्रीन बाड़मेर बना रहे हैं, कि बावड़ी लगा दी हमारे यहाँ पे ग्रीनरी के नाम पे। तो कहीं ना कहीं मिसयूज हो रहा है उन चीज़ों का। जाहिर सी बात है कि एकदम से कोई चीज़ रुकनी नहीं है, पर अगर कमर कस के आगे तो बिल्कुल निश्चित तौर पे बदलाव तो ले ही आएंगे।
इसके चुनाव लड़ने के लिए पैसे बहुत ज़रूरत होती है,
बहुत बड़ा सवाल है,
बहुत बड़ी ज़रूरत होती है। तो मैं बहुत ओपनली आपसे पूछ रही हूँ, कहाँ से इतना?
मेरे सामने कई सारे लोग ये जो ट्रैक्टर पे चल रहे हैं, 50 डिग्री के टेम्परेचर है, 4 बज चुके हैं और ये लगभग 3 घंटे से इंतज़ार यहाँ कर रहे थे। आपको लगता है कि मैंने किसी को पैसे देके यहाँ पे बुलाया होगा? अगर पैसे देख के भी अगर किसी को बुलाते हो या खर्च करके भी बुलाते हो तो वो इस धूप में तो बिल्कुल ही खड़ा नहीं होगा। आज ये तमाम लोग आप देख रहे होंगे कि गाड़ी में तेज लड़के ये भरे हुए हैं, ये कौन है? ये लोग वो हैं जिनकी आंखों के अंदर एक सपना है कि ये रविंद्र आगे आएगा और हमारे लिए कुछ करेगा। जब मैं पहली बार लड़ा तो सभी के लिए एक चिंता का विषय था कि कैसे चुनाव लड़ोगे, इतना बड़ा चुनाव है, पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, टिकट कौन देगा, ये वो इस तरीके की चीज़ें। पर सभी के साथ और सहयोग की बदौलत छात्र संघ का चुनाव जीता। छात्र संघ के चुनाव के बाद जब वापस विधानसभा का चुनाव आया तो उस समय भी बातें ये हुई कि साहब विधानसभा का चुनाव कौन लड़ने देगा। जनता का साथ और सहयोग रहा, विधानसभा का चुनाव जीता। पर पिताजी, मेरे दादाजी सब गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट हैं, वो नौकरी में रहे हैं। पर अब मैं सार्वजनिक जीवन में हूँ और मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि मेरे लोगों के लिए मैं कुछ करूँ।
तो मैं जब बात करते हुए आ रही थी तो लोगों ने बोला कि कुछ लोगों ने बोला कि निर्दलीय हैं तो हमें थोड़ा डर लगता है कि ये भाजपा में जाके मिल जाएंगे। ये आपको सुनने को मिलता है?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं सुनने को मिलता। मैं पब्लिक के बीच में रहता है, मुझे सिर्फ प्यार ही मिलता है इनका।
तो इस परसेप्शन को कैसे आप?
मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा कि वर्तमान में मैं निर्दलीय भी हूँ, सर्वदलीय भी हूँ, और जो क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए मुझे भरोसा दिलवाएगा मैं उनके साथ में रहूँगा।
अभी मैं गाँव वालों से यहाँ पे बात कर रही थी तो सब मुझे बोल रहे थे हम दूसरा मोदी तैयार कर रहे हैं, हम जिताएंगे और हम दूसरा मोदी तैयार कर रहे हैं। आप क्या बोलेंगे इसके बारे में?
मैं रविंदर हूँ, मोदी जी बहुत बड़े आदमी हैं, मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूँ।
तो आपके लिए यहाँ पे कौन, जिसे कहते हैं कौन मेन आपके ओपोनेंट हुए?
कोई नहीं है, वो अपना काम कर रहे हैं, मैं मेरा काम कर रहा हूँ।
फिर भी भाजपा या कांग्रेस?
लगता नहीं है, दोनों एक ही है। गंगाधर ही शक्तिमान है, आप देख ही रहे होंगे, आज ट्विटर पे चल ही रहा है। हाँ, ये मैं तो कह रहा हूँ लड़ो, मुझे तो सीखने को मिल रहा है, मैं तो देख रहा हूँ कि कैसे कर सकते हैं, किस हद तक जा सकते हैं।
तो ये क्या दोनों से इक्वी डिस्टेंस, मतलब दोनों से एक दूरी बना के रखने वाला है?
दोनों से विशेष प्रेम है जो आज दिख भी रहा है आपको।
From the hot seat in Rajasthan, now to Madhya Pradesh. BJP had won 28 of 29 seats in MP in 2019. Congress had won only Chhindwara, considered party veteran Kamal Nath's borough. My colleague from ET's Political Bureau, Rakesh Mohan Chaturvedi, will take us through the tribal belt of Madhya Pradesh and tell us what are the issues weighing on people's minds.
So I had gone to Madhya Pradesh and I had traveled through the Mandla Scheduled Tribe Reserved seat and also to Chhindwara, which has sizable tribal population. These are Gond tribals. Their concerns, of course, are very different from what we see in the urban constituencies. So I had traveled to this part of Madhya Pradesh, which falls in the first phase of polling.
Rakesh, tell us what are the issues that are dominating in that part of Madhya Pradesh, tribal belt?
Yeah, so as I said, the concerns and the challenges of a tribal constituency are very different from those of urban constituencies. So in Mandla and also in Chhindwara, the Ram temple issue, for example, does not have much resonance. Also, they are not aware of the abrogation of Article 370 or Triple Talaq. And so these issues obviously do not ring a bell in that part of the state. The tribals are more concerned about subsistence and about their jobs, about work, about the welfare schemes. The Bijli, Sadak, Pani kind of issues which affect their daily life. Jobs, of course, are a big issue for them. And many of them had complaints that they have nothing in the district. And so they have to move either to Jabalpur or Bhopal or even to Maharashtra, say Nagpur or any other part of Maharashtra in search of work. So that is one issue. Then the welfare schemes seem to have done well in these parts. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has benefited a lot of people in Mandla, but then they complained that instead of the 1.5 lakh that they're supposed to get, they get only about 1.3 lakh, and about 20,000 is deducted for toilets, which actually should come under the Swachh Bharat scheme. They had complaints that some of the money is also deducted under labor charges. So they're not getting the full benefit of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, but still many of them have managed to build small dwellings for themselves. Water woes are a major concern, and even though this district is about 15 kilometers away from Narmada River, locals complain that they don't have access to drinking water, and only about 60% of the households get drinking water, and the supply is quite irregular. They have to go walk a distance to get water. And of course, if they are not getting drinking water, irrigation is, of course, the fields are dependent on rainfall. And these are major concerns because there is no industry. It's only their small fields or land holdings that they have where they grow some crops for their survival. So these are the kind of issues which affect the voters there. And in keeping with whatever opinion they form about the welfare schemes, they are likely to vote on that. The Ladli Behna scheme seems to have benefited quite a few people, but then there were some who said then the women in their house are eligible. They have not been given the benefits. A major concern in the district or in the tribal belt is that there is corruption at the lower level and they are harassed and made to run around for getting their papers in order. And on small frivolous pretexts, the officials, the lower rung of the bureaucracy, denies them the benefits of the welfare schemes. So these are the concerns that they have. The larger issues that we see in the campaign are not visible or do not have much of bearing on the lives of these tribal people.
Rakesh, the tribals have traditionally voted for the Congress and then they have been weaned by the BJP. What does it look like right now?
Yeah, so if you look at the details, Congress has usually benefited from, the tribals have voted for the Congress. And even if you look at the Assembly elections 2023, which was held just 4 months back, out of the 8 Vidhan Sabha seats in Mandla, 5 are with the Congress. So obviously the Congress is a big beneficiary of the tribal votes. And this trend may continue in the Lok Sabha election also because the voters, there is anti-incumbency against Phaggan Singh Pulaste, who is the sitting MP, and he's been there for about 40 years now. He had lost the 2009 Lok Sabha election, but then he won again in 2014 in the Modi wave and 2019 again.
So Rakesh, you had traveled to Chhindwara, which is considered Kamal Nath's stronghold. What are the issues and what does it look like there?
Chhindwara, what has worked for Kamal Nath is his approach to the people. He is very accessible. That is what many of the locals say. He is known for attending all these family programs, from marriages or if there's a death in the family. He has had that connect with almost every village in that constituency. In between, there were rumors that Kamal Nath himself wants to defect to the BJP. And then, of course, election season is all about a lot of rumors doing the rounds. Another counter to that is that Kamal Nath has actually struck a deal that, BJP doesn't make inroads into his pocket borough. Nakul Nath has been non-controversial. He has tried to carry on the legacy. BJP candidate there, if person wins, it will be mainly on Modi's name. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So overall, I think odds are in favor of Nakul Nath retaining the seat. But a surprise can never be ruled out in any Indian elections.
So how much ground will the BJP be able to hold on to remains a big question in both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. This is all for today. I'm your host Nidhi Sharma signing off. We will bring you new stories next Wednesday right before the second phase of polling. This episode was brought to you by sound designer Rajas Nayak and producer Surohini Jain and Vinayak Agarwal. Executive producers Anirban Chaudhary and Arijit Barman. Thank you for listening in, and if you like this episode, do spread the word. All new episodes of the Morning Brief podcast drop every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. It streams on Amazon Prime Music, JioSaavn, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and of course, ET's own audio platform, ET Play. Have a great week ahead.